This is Donovan McNabb, and you're listening to The Bottom Line with Steve Nugent, right here on Sports Radio 1340 WHAP, Hopewell.
Craving a burger, a shake, or something sweet? Come on down to City Point Ice Cream and Burgers. They're serving all your favorites right here in the heart of Hopewell. From classic burgers and fries to their signature crazy shakes, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. City Point Ice Cream and Burgers is located at 236 East Broadway, downtown Hopewell, open Thursday through Monday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. City Point, more than just a burger. That's City Point Ice Cream and Burgers.
K&L Barbecue at 1410 Maple Street, inside Cavalier Square, Hopewell. Wants you to know they have great specials on the daily menu, such as hamburger steaks, grilled chicken, a lightly fried chicken sandwich, and of course, the best chicken and dumplings in the Tri-Cities. And don't forget about their world-famous barbecue and sauce. Dine in or carry out at K&L Barbecue. Call 458-4241. That's 458-4241 for K&L Barbecue.
Uh-oh, stranded on the side of the road, flat tire, dead battery, no worries. Tucker Towing Service, LLC has got your back. Whether it's cars, trucks, motorcycles, or trailers, we're here to get you moving again. Need a jump start or a tire change? We do that too. Proudly serving Hopewell, VA, and surrounding areas. We're fast, reliable, and just a call away. Call Tucker Towing at 804-920-4383 or email us at tuckerstowingservice@gmail.com. Tucker Towing Service, LLC, your roadside lifeline.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Let Keith and Mandy at Hourglass Realty Group guide you and your family through the journey of home ownership for years to come. With over 17 years of experience as multi-million-dollar producers, they specialize in residential and commercial properties across Richmond, Chesterfield, the Tri-Cities, and surrounding areas. As partner agents with Veterans United, they take pride in helping active and retired veterans find the perfect home. Plus, Keith is a licensed notary for your convenience. Call 804-712-0188. That's 804-712-0188 today and visit them at 11801 Center Street in Chester. They're online at hourglassrealtygroup.com.
I just want to encourage everybody listening today. Your health matters. Your peace matters. You don't have to settle for feeling exhausted, stressed, or just stuck wherever you are. God gave us everything we need. Simple, powerful gifts from the earth to support our bodies naturally. It's not complicated. It's not overwhelming. It's just about taking one small step back to what He originally intended. You deserve to feel amazing. And Natural Solutions are really closer than you think. It's just a text, a phone call, or a stop by Car Brothers away.
Start your wellness journey today. Reach out to Tony Carr Hathaway. She's been waiting for you. Text wellness to 804-212-8571.
Hemco, a family-owned business which operates as a full-service buyer, processor, and seller. Hemco purchases, collects, processes, then remits any and all salvageable materials such as copper, brass, aluminum, stainless steel, and much more for the recycling industry. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company, located at 213 South 6th Avenue, Hopewell, Virginia. For services or questions, call Hemco at 458-8514, open Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company.
This is The Bottom Line with Steve the Truth Nugent. And the truth will set you free. He covers everything from high school to the pros and everything in between here in the Tri-Cities. Now, let's go to Steve the Truth with The Bottom Line.
That's right, folks. It is Monday, and this is The Bottom Line. With featuring The Bottom Line with Steve the Truth, featuring Harry Clary and the one, the only, the entertainer, that is Rick Morris. We are here at the studios right at the corner of River Road and Mesa. And, of course, last week we did the best of Harry and Rick, and it was my wedding anniversary. I had a chance to go to the Funny Bone over there in Short Pump, and that is very, very nice.
Okay, was the comedian funny?
Hey, but yes, they were very funny.
Several comedians.
Yes, it was. My wife is a General Hospital fan, and these two comedians and these two actors are on General Hospital. One named Jason, one named Spinelli, and Steve Burton and Daniel was there, and they do a comedy show, and they travel around and do it.
Well, General Hospital's my favorite comedy.
Yeah, I called it Genital Hospital, but it's all good. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. We got a chance to meet them, and of course, Debbie Hayes and Teresa Hayes went with us, and I want to give them a shout out. It was a really fun evening last Monday, and sorry we missed the show, but like I said, we had the best of. I hope you got a chance to hear that. I thought it sounded real good as well. And Harry, it is just about 5 minutes after the hour of 6 o'clock. How was your weekend?
Oh, my weekend was great. I did a lot of work around the house, and that you know, that's always good when you get good weather and you can get things done.
That's right. Of course, usually I open the show on this beautiful Monday. Today, not so beautiful.
Well, that's okay. All the rest of them have been.
Yes, they have.
And we're not going to let it stop us.
That's right. Rick, how was your weekend, buddy? I know y'all had a gig Saturday night.
Yes, we did. We played at IBK Saturday.
Oh, we'll get to Rick in just a second. We got to plug that up. Yeah, that's what happens when we take a week off. But Harry, you did make an appearance at the was it the ranch?
I don't know.
I don't know. Bar and Grill right there on Route 10 by 95. How was it?
Yeah, it was good food. The band was great, of course.
Yeah. Now, Rick, you're all mic'd up. You ready to go?
Yes.
There we go.
We had a good crowd out there, and it was a little cold, but it was fun.
I want to give a shout out to my wife. I guess she heard the little pun I put about Genital Hospital. And she got a text. That wasn't nice. But if you do want to text the show, 804-698-0754, give us a text and we'll get your text read on the air. And of course, like I said, our weekend was pretty good. I worked the Optimist Club Saturday for the drive-through barbecue, which was a success. And yesterday, the wife and I attended the wrestling meet for our granddaughter Kennedy, and she did real well. She improved all season long, and she won second place in her group yesterday.
Wrestling against boys,
3 boys and a girl.
Kennedy.
Yeah, she did a great job. We're so proud of her, and like I said, everything they do, they seem to get. As anything, the more you do it, the better you get at it.
Most of the time.
That's right. Most of the time. But today is our 1-year anniversary. A year ago, this is when we got back on radio. A year ago, on this Monday. It's actually the 2nd, but this Monday. And the reason why Harry and I want to come back to radio, we wanted to promote a lot of youth in the area that needs to be promoted right here. Of course, WHAP is a community radio station, and they do a great job in the community. We came along to tag along with them to promote the sports side of it. And Harry, I got a list of guests, and Rick got a list of guests that we've had over the last year on the show, and it's pretty when the intro says pro, college, and high school and everything in between, that's exactly what we did.
Well, I tell you, Steve, when you asked me to do the show, it had been a long time, but I was glad to come on. But I have to say, Steve, the way that you set up the show from the beginning to do the children's sports from 8 years old on up, all through the middle school, through the high school, we're like no other sports show out there. Not a lot of negativity on the show. We don't go on and we don't look for the bad news in sports this week and go on and on about it like many of the other sports shows do.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And we try our best to cover everything that we can that we think our listeners may want to listen to. And, of course, the youth is our future. And like Trey Evans was here, he's a coach through the community, and it's all about the kids. And like I said, we've had kids as young as 7 and 8 when my granddaughter was here with Jarrett Brown. He was a guest here. He was, Hopewell fame and Richmond Raiders and William and Mary fame here promoting the youth wrestling that's going on right now that ends this Sunday that they got going on. And, of course, we had The soccer team that never made it to the state level, they were here twice, made it. They won the regionals, then they made the states for the first time ever in Hopewell High School history of soccer.
Yeah, and as you know, Steve, we've had high school students in this building in the past that went on to do great things.
That's right. The Late Night Sports Show, we did that from 2008 to about 2010, and two of the 804 that represented in the Super Bowl, Travion Henderson, which I had I got the clip from him when he's in town. He listens to the Bottom Line with Steve the Truth. And, of course, we do have a station ID with Morgan Moses back when he played for Meadowbrook High School. With the Late Night Sports Show. You remember that, don't you, Harry?
Yeah, it was funny because I guess at the time I was about 6'4", 240, and I was the shortest person in the room and weighed by far the least amount.
Yeah, and like I said, they had a great season with the New England Patriots, and like I said, it's just fun. And let's talk about it a little bit. Coach Irby, a year ago today, we had Coach Irby on talking about Travion Henderson's NFL Combine that happened. That talking about his 40 speed, that 4.32 was his 40 speed, and Coach Irby said, I believe he can run faster than that if he had somebody chasing him. And then let's fast forward it to the first preseason game of the year. Travion Henderson won the kickoff back.
Travion Henderson has instincts and deceptive speed like I've never seen before in my life. He knows how to follow the blocking, and I bet he doesn't even have to think about it.
Yeah, and we did have last March, you and I had an opportunity to call a baseball game out here with Coach Adam Capps for the Hopewell Blue Devils, and we fast forwarded. We had the first baseman and the second baseman from that baseball team that went on to excel at football with the quarterback Moore playing the quarterback, Brian Moore, and Kuntz playing linebacker for Coach Irby in full circle, and we had them here, and both of them are going to play at the next level.
Oh, it's just great, Steve. I love watching these young people succeed.
Yeah, and I did mention that we had Kobe, the coach of Hopewell High School soccer team. Of course, they went on to play in the States, and he called me yesterday. They got a fundraiser going on that you'll see it on the Bottom Line page after the show tonight, and they'll be here next Monday. He'll be our guest talking about the season coming up and how you can help with the fundraiser there for the soccer team. But we also had the Player of the Year with us, and Owen Beasley was here, the kicker that scored one of the goals to send them to the next level in soccer, and then he went on to play kicker for the football team.
Yeah, a lot of opportunity there for these young folks.
Yeah, and then we had Jordan and Whitney on, the coaches that coach girls field hockey, girls soccer, girls softball, and girls wrestling to cover that and to get some spotlight put on them. Of course, high school football, everybody looks at the football, but it's so many different sports now that youth can do in high school, and that's one thing that we were trying to do over the last year, which we'll continue doing it to promote the young athletes here in Hopewell and the surrounding areas.
Which is kind of ironic, Steve, because football is one of the biggest sports. It's probably the biggest sport, and we chose soon as football season ended to start this show. Yeah, so that was the real test right there.
Yeah, and then we had Ronnie Walker on. He was here. Of course, he's UVA fame, playing for Indiana, come through Hopewell, and now he's a trainer doing his thing with that, helping youth get to the next level. And as he was here, they train differently when you play in the Big Ten. You know, they want to bulk up, and like I said, that was a good interview that we had.
Yeah, we ought to have an experiment and have these trainers see if they can train somebody in their 70s to do something.
He said he could do it. Remember you asked him? He said, yeah, I can train you. We can get you straight.
Yeah, well, you don't realize you got to have something to work with.
Yep, and then the week before the NFL draft, which will be coming up soon, and I called Travion getting drafted with the 36th pick going to the Chicago Bears.
I thought it was 32nd.
That's how I picked that.
Oh.
Yeah. And his dad, Trent Henderson, he was our guest, and, of course, he's a Cowboy fan, I guess. I believe he was, and that he wanted him to just go wherever. He just wanted to have fun. He spoke very highly of his son, Travion, and it was good to have him here before he took that trip to Ohio State to see his son drafted in the 35th pick to the New England Patriots in the second round.
I think Travion went to the right place.
Yeah, I think it went real well. Rick, your thoughts on Travion going to the New England Patriots? Now the season's over, and they played your Denver Broncos in the AFC Championship game.
We needed a good running back. I'm happy for him. He's shown me what he can do, and I'm proud of him. He's a hometown boy.
Yeah, and then we had right around November, election time, Sheriff Travis Stanley came on for the show, talk about his athletics that he played back in the day.
Right, and classy guy, didn't bring up any of the politics.
Yeah, and he went on the next day to win by 1,000 votes, and he's our sheriff here at the Hopewell, at the city of Hopewell. And, of course, can't say enough about Travion and Kuntz and Moore and all them coming on during the show. T-Ron Richardson, he did pick Oklahoma. And then when the coach changed and went to Virginia Tech, he decided to transfer to Virginia Tech. So he's going to be playing Tech next year, and we had him on the show with another great interview.
Yeah, what a big, strong guy he is. I think he's going to do great.
And speaking of Coots, if John goes out there and has enough hits, he can't. Coach Irby said he can hold the record for most hits for anybody that played baseball at Hopewell this season. And that's big. He's going to Shawan, I believe it is where he's going.
That's where my dad went to college.
Yeah, so we had him here as well. And then most recently, February 9th, Coach Mike Winnington and Drew McKinney was here. And speaking of first, last year, Coach Mike said that they had one person to make the states for the Hopewell. This year, they had 7 to make the states. So that's a great, bright future for Hopewell Wrestling right there. And we had them right here on the show, and 3 of them were freshmen. So we get to cover them for the next 3 years.
Well, it seems to me Hopewell's pretty good at looking out for their students and reaching out to colleges so that they can go on to the next level. Yeah, and like I said, what are your thoughts, Rick, on the football players? And like I said, T-Ron, not a small young man.
They were pretty good. They put out a lot of good effort.
Those guys spoke pretty good on the radio.
Yeah,
I thought they seemed like they could have a career in radio if after sports.
Yeah, I mean? And then, like I said, we talked to some that's getting ready to go to the next level, at the college level. We've had them on that's played at the college level as well. But we also had some pro players. Ken Oxendine joined us to promote his coaching that he does the 7-on-7 right there in Chesterfield at Thomasdale High School. Ken Oxendine, of course, played for the Atlanta Falcons in the Super Bowl, but he also won a championship with the XFL with the LA team. And he was right here in studio with us. Another local guy, but playing in the pros. And, of course, that's pro football. Dave Johnson, the voice of the Washington Wizards, he joined us as well. And I'm trying to have him up again here in the next couple of weeks to get him on to talk about the Washington Wizards with the big pickup they got of Anthony Davis and the other big guy. They sitting both of them, and they're sitting them out. They should get a decent draft pick, which when we have Dave Johnson on, we'll get his thoughts on that as well with the Washington Wizards. And so, and all in all, like I said, local. And Rick and Harry, you can't get more local than Big Woody. And Big Woody is, like I said, he kept us a track, called us up on Mondays and kept us abreast of high school football, high school basketball, and I can't think enough. Of course, he was a big fan of the program back when we had the Bottom Line in Sports Center on Fox and the late night sports show as well.
He's a wealth of knowledge, and he can remember games from 40 and 50 years ago like it was yesterday.
Yes, and like I said, if you're just joining us here at 20 minutes after 6, this is The Bottom Line with Steve the Truth, featuring Harry Clary and the entertainer that is Rick Morris. Today's episode is 1 year today. We came back here to WHAP 1340 AM, 96.9 FM, and WHAPradio.com. And, of course, it is WHAP The Point. And like I said, I can't thank everybody enough. And that's some of the guests. We've had more guests on over the year on that as well. But one thing that makes us go is what? Sponsors. And I'd like to take a few minutes to give them a shout-out before we go to break. Before we do on this date with Harry. The sponsors that's been with us since we came back. K&L Barbecue, where friends meet to eat. They got great food. They're open Monday through Friday, 11 to 7. Actually, that's where I met Harry at a long time ago. We were talking about that last night.
A long time ago.
Yep. They're a proud sponsor of the Bottom Line. Tucker's Towing, Melissa and Jerry Tucker. Can't thank them enough. Like I said, I got a couple of sweatshirts that I wear around. Of course, they got out here in our lobby, they got, what do you call them? The deodorizers for the cars.
I would call
air
those
air fresheners. That's what it is.
I would call them deodorizers for the cars.
Yeah, they're air fresheners for your vehicle. The Tucker's Towing, and we had ink pens and everything. When we had that open house here, WHAP did. We had a lot of stuff giving away, pens and all kinds of stuff that Tucker's Towing has donated. Sponsoring our show, and of course, it was our connection with our T-shirts as well. And like I said, the Bottom Line Sports Talk radio show. Legion Jones. Can't say enough about Andy Clark, can we? Cannot say enough about him. He is a big supporter of youth and youth sports, and he's been a big supporter of our show since 2008.
And he's been a prominent figure here in the city for a very long time.
Yeah, and, of course, he had some stuff. We still got some stuff here in the lobby, some highlighters and different stuff, hats, little beer coolers or, cans to go around the cans with Legion Jones. Koozies, yeah. Rick's right on the ball tonight. But, yeah. Thank them so much for their support over the last year and moving forward. Hourglass Realty Group, of course, Keith Wagner was scheduled to be our guest tonight, but he texted this morning, said a little bit under the weather. Now, he wasn't going to be able to make it tonight, so I rescheduled him for March 30th. And like I said, I can't thank him enough for his support for our show, and he's been with us ever since we started back in February.
And he's a very knowledgeable sports fan, big Redskin fan.
Yes,
excuse me,
Commanders.
I meant to say Washington Redskins.
Yep, and the next one, I cannot say enough about this young lady, Tony Carr Hathaway. Of course, I went and talked to her, gave her the spiel about, hey, we are to sponsor our show with Carr Brothers, the gathering place, and I said we can also slide you in with that with the Tony's Oily Worlds. And a year later, she could actually probably do a show by herself about Tony's Oily Worlds, and she was our guest 2 weeks ago. And like I said, I got one right here. She made us an oil of them essential oils, Calm, where she made our own little bottle, own little thing, and it works. I've been using it since I got it.
Tony's got a great radio voice, and like you said, Steve, I think she could do her own show and be a champ.
Yeah, I agree. I cannot thank her enough for being, of course, the Carr Brothers, the gathering place. Every Monday when I leave here, I stop by there briefly. So if you're ever out and about on a Monday afternoon after 7, you can stop by Carr Brothers and chill out with me. One of our newest sponsors, City Point Ice Cream and Burgers. You heard their spot at the beginning of it. Me and Harry went there, and, yeah, the burgers are good, the fries are good, and the milkshakes are out of this world.
Yeah, it was a lot of people in there.
It was. They were very busy. And, of course, they were a big supporter of Hopewell High School basketball, and they had a fundraiser recently for the basketball team there. Like I said, we want to thank Ashley and all them, Philip down there at City Point Ice Cream and Burger. And, of course, we did have Fishtails. Cannot forget Ronnie Ellis and all the family there for their support of the Bottom Line as well, which, coming up, it is the spring. So we might be able to get Fishtails back and promote some of them tournaments that they got going on as well. So that gets you caught up right here. Like I said, we want to take the first part of the show to let you know that we appreciate everyone listening, all our callers out there, and the people that listen to the show. I can Weasel, David Rogers, West End Service Center, Weasel, Johnson Printing. Johnson Printing, want to give them a shout-out. They've helped us out a lot, too, as well. And like I said, a lot of people that I know have been listening. Benji, I know you're out there listening, man. I still got a shirt for you. Just got to catch up for you with you.
Steve Rasnick is also a listener.
Steve Rasnick, I got to see him Saturday. He came through to pick up a barbecue dinner when I was out there working with the Optimist Club. I want to thank Patrick and Jenny. They might be still in the car right now. They're on the way to the Hopewell Moose Lodge because it is the Queen of Hearts tonight, and it's like $10,000. So it's building up there at the Hopewell Moose Lodge. And Hopewell Moose Lodge, I don't supposed to say this, but they do have a special with enrollment, I guess is a good way to say. You can sign up, become a member. Check that out. Go to the Hopewell Moose or check them out on Facebook as well. And like I said, I want to thank our listeners. My wife, she listens as well. And like I said, Glenn Thomas, want to give him a shout out. He is the station manager here. He tries his best to keep doing keep us going as well as we can with what he has to do. And Bruce G, want to give Bruce G a shout out as well. He's been working with us as well. And like I said, 1 year, Harry, it feels just like yesterday.
Yeah, I tell you what, you just don't. Well, I guess it's the age I'm at now. The time, my life has gone by really slow. You know how people say time just flies by? Well, this year seemed like about 10 to me, really. I think time has slowed down in my life. Maybe I have a boring life. I don't know. What do you think it is, Rick?
I don't know, because it sped up for me.
Yeah. Well, before we go to On This Date, real quick, I just want to give a shout-out to Hopewell swimming team. Yes, this is the first year Hopewell had a swimming team, and a couple of them made the states as well.
In high school?
In high school.
Right. I know they've had swimming teams.
Oh, yeah, Wooddale and
Wooddale and places. This is high school.
This is Hopewell High School swim team. And Coach Sarah Collins, I talked to her yesterday, and we're going to set up a time where she'll be joining the show as well. And her maiden name is Henderson. So, we had Coach Henderson on as well. Herman Henderson, he was on with us. Of course, he was, what can I say, one of the assistant coaches and the wrestling coaches, for a long time here in Hopewell. So yeah. I saw him yesterday at the wrestling meet. His grandson wrestled my granddaughter.
Yeah, Trent Henderson also, and hopefully we'll get Travion Henderson, and it'll be a lot of Hendersons on the show.
Yep, you're exactly right. So it is the bottom of the hour of 6:30. We haven't took a break yet, but we're going to go ahead and do this on this day in sports. Every day about this time, this is what we do.
It's time for On This Date in Sports History
with Harry Clary, brought to you by Car Brothers, the gathering place located at 3100 Jackson Farm Road. Now, here's Harry.
All righty, brought to you by Car Brothers. Okay, in 1874, March 2nd, the batter's box was adopted by professional baseball. So if you want to know when the batter's box first started, I guess they had lime back then, 1874. Okay, on March 2nd, 1918, Joe Malone finishes the NHL season with 44 goals, a record that stood till 1944. 1951, on this day in sports history, first NBA All-Star game was played. It was played in Boston Garden. The East beat the West, and the MVP was Ed Macaulay, Boston Celtic guard. Okay, in 1962, here's the big one, ladies and gentlemen. Philadelphia center Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points. Now, a lot of people find that hard to believe, but if you'll also go back and look, he scored 5 games over 70 points that year, and he averaged over 50 points for the entire year.
And I believe it was like 2.5 minutes or something left in that game, and they stopped it when he scored 100 points.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Some people doubt that he did it. Wilt Chamberlain is the most dominant basketball player in NBA history. There's nobody close. Averaging over 50 points that year and 27 rebounds. Mm-hmm. Now if a player gets 27 rebounds in one game, they get their name in the paper, and ESPN blows up. But anyway, that was the great Wilt Chamberlain. In 1968, 19-year-old Peggy Fleming wins her third consecutive World Ladies Figure Skating Championship. And then when she finished that day, she turned pro, and she became a broadcaster in skating after that and was very successful in that also. In 1969, Boston's Phil Esposito became the first player in NHL history to score 100 points in a season. Did you ever hear the story what Phil Esposito did in the Olympics? I believe it was they were afraid that they had a bug in the room, and they looked in the carpet, and they seen these bolts. And they loosened the bolts because they were going to find, if they had a bug in the room or whatever. But you know what they did, Steve? They took the bolts off, and the ballroom was below them, and the chandelier fell to the ground.
Oh.
But anyway, that Phil Esposito, he was quite a character.
Yeah.
Okay, and in 2004, March 2nd. Did y'all hear something a while ago? Anyway, 2004, Indianapolis quarterback Peyton Manning signs a 7-year, $98 million deal with a $34.5 million signing bonus, which is like half what they pay a quarterback this year. For 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
And that $98 million, that's like less than 2 years for Dak Prescott. So the money has gone way up. Last but not least, in 2024, on March 2nd, LeBron James becomes the first player in NBA history to score 40,000 points. Of course, that was 20 seasons. Chamberlain didn't play but about 14.
Mm-hmm.
Birthdays today. March 2nd, 1909, Mel Ott, Baseball Hall of Famer, was born. 1954, Cincinnati running back Pete Johnson. He was a big boy. He played for the Cincinnati Reds. He weighed like 260 pounds. He was a bruiser. Mm-hmm. 1965, pro baseball player, Cincinnati Reds, Atlanta Braves broadcaster Ron Gant was born. 1965. 1978, Sebastian Janikowski. Remember him? Kicker for the Raiders?
Yeah.
Yes.
Kind of a dumpy guy.
He liked to potty.
Huh?
I said he liked to potty.
Yeah, he did?
Yeah.
He did hit a 63-yarder.
Yes, he did.
Yeah. I remember we used to one-ring each other in fantasy football, and I can remember one time the guy fumbled the snap, and Janikowski had it, and he was running into the end zone, and I was playing David Hayes, and David Hayes one-rang me, but he got tackled at the 1-yard line. We thought that was real funny. And 1982, Ben Roethlisberger, it's his birthday. He was born in 82 for Pittsburgh Steelers. And that does it for On This Day in Sports History and birthdays on March 2nd.
All right, brought to you by Carr Brothers, where? The Gathering Place. Yeah. And if you are keeping score out there, it is 1-0. And with that, we're going to take a break. I know the opening was a little long, but we appreciate y'all listening. We appreciate everybody. Like I said, today is 1 year that we've been back here on Fox Sports Radio and WHAP. With that, we're going to take a break. You're listening to The Bottom Line right here on WHAP, The Point.
Hi, this is Andy Clark with Ligon Jones Insurance Services. We're proud to give back to our community by supporting local youth sports and encourage you all to get out and cheer for your team. We're a local independent agent representing Erie Insurance and several others. Give us a call at 804-458-8522 or stop by our new location at 5392 Prince George Drive, Suite B, and let us show you what old-fashioned customer service feels like. We can be your insurance concierge and save you money. www.ligonjones.com.
I just want to encourage everybody listening today. Your health matters. Your peace matters. You don't have to settle for feeling exhausted, stressed, or just stuck wherever you are. God gave us everything we need. simple, powerful gifts from the earth to support our bodies naturally. It's not complicated. It's not overwhelming. It's just about taking one small step back to what He originally intended. You deserve to feel amazing. And Natural Solutions are really closer than you think. It's just a text, a phone call, or a stop by Carr Brothers away.
Start your wellness journey today. Reach out to Tony Carr Hathaway. She's been waiting for you. Text wellness to 804-212-8571.
Hemco, a family-owned business which operates as a full-service buyer, processor, and seller. Hemco purchases, collects, processes, then remits any and all salvageable materials such as copper, brass, aluminum, stainless steel, and much more for the recycling industry. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company, located at 213 South 6th Avenue, Hopewell, Virginia. For services or questions, call Hemco at 458-8514, open Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Let Keith and Mandy at Hourglass Realty Group guide you and your family through the journey of home ownership for years to come. With over 17 years of experience as multi-million-dollar producers, they specialize in residential and commercial properties across Richmond, Chesterfield, the Tri-Cities, and surrounding areas. As partner agents with Veterans United, they take pride in helping active and retired veterans find the perfect home. Plus, Keith is a licensed notary for your convenience. Call 804-712-0188. That's 804-712-0188 today and visit them at 11801 Center Street in Chester. They're online at hourglassrealtygroup.com.
Uh-oh, stranded on the side of the road, flat tire, dead battery, no worries. Tucker Towing Service, LLC has got your back. Whether it's cars, trucks, motorcycles, or trailers, we're here to get you moving again. Need a jump start or a tire change? We do that too. Proudly serving Hopewell, VA, and surrounding areas. We're fast, reliable, and just a call away. Call Tucker Towing at 804-920-4383. or email us at tuckerstowingservice@gmail.com. Tucker Towing Service, LLC, your roadside lifeline.
Why didn't you just tell me the truth? Now, let's get back to Steve the Truth with the bottom line. That's what I said.
All right, we're back here at the studios taking a look at the NBA tonight, 7 o'clock. It's Houston taking on Washington, 7:30, and my screen goes blank. And, of course, the game in college basketball tonight, Duke taking at 7 o'clock, they are playing NC State. That's a big game in the ACC. And with that, let's kick it over to Rick Moores, the entertainer, for the NHL update by Legion Jones.
Alrighty, here's the updates for the National Hockey League, brought to you by Legan Jones Insurance. There were 6 games played on Sunday. The Penguins shut out the Golden Knights 5-0. The Blackhawks also pitched a shutout over the Mammoth 4-0. The Sharks get by the Jets 2-1. The Blues beat the Wild 3-1. The Islanders get a win over the Panthers 5-4. And finally, the Ducks beat the Flames 3-2. There are also 6 games being played today. The Red Wings beat the Predators earlier today 4-2. At 7 o'clock, we have the Blue Jackets at the Rangers. At 7:30, the Flyers take on the Maple Leafs. Beginning at 10 o'clock, we have 2 games. The Stars at the Canucks and the Hurricanes at the Kraken. And finally, my Avalanche take on the Kings at 10:30. And the Avalanche currently leads the league in wins 39-10-9. I want to congratulate the Team USA for bringing home the gold in the Olympics, beating out Canada. Go USA. And that's it for the NHL updates. Now back to Steve the Truth.
Yeah, let's give a shout-out to the men and women. They both won the Olympic gold, which was great. Of course, that was the first time the men won it since 1980. And like I said, the women...
Do you believe in miracles?
Yeah, that was great.
That was for the silver, though, when he said that.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, you said the Jets played the Sharks.
Yes.
In West Side Story, the 2 gangs that fought...
Were the Jets
and the Sharks.
Oh.
What a coincidence there. Little comparison there that has nothing to do with sports.
What's a coinky-dink?
Yeah, it's a coinky-dink. Now, speaking of that, it is about 20 minutes toward the hour, 7 o'clock. My screen's back up here on my monitor. So, yes, Houston's taking on Washington tonight. Washington's struggling. They're 16-43. Boston taking on Milwaukee. Denver taking on Utah. And the Clippers are taking on Golden State tonight at 10 o'clock. And, of course, Duke takes on NC State at 7 tonight. And other ones there, Northwestern's taking on Rutgers. It looks like it's a lot of college basketball. This is the best time of year, Harry, for college basketball. And while we got this moment, let's talk about a little headlines today. Let's talk some National Football League. The Texans trade Lions running back, trade for Lions running
Montgomery?
back Montgomery. What do you think about that?
Oh, that's going to help them.
Yeah.
To me, the Houston is one of the teams that's really going to be they're going to be superstars soon.
They're on the verge.
I can just see it.
Yeah, well, the last 3 seasons.
D'Amico Ryans is a super coach.
Yeah, they won a game in the playoffs the last 3 years. And started out 0-3 this year and still made the playoffs and won a game. And was in the game at the end of the New England game.
C.J. Stroud did not have a very good game when they got knocked out. But aside from that, what a defense.
Yeah.
I mean, and I think they are one of the best up-and-coming teams for next year.
Yeah, our text line is open, 804-698-0754. Give us a text and we'll get it online. Of course, I think most of the Washington Commanders fans agree with this. The Washington Commanders released cornerback Lattimore. Of course, they traded for him, and I don't think he did what they expected him to do on the defensive side of the ball. So that's news out of the National Football League right now. Of course, speaking of the National Football League, I had that coming up in the next segment, but I'll talk about it right now if I can get my information. Here it is. Earlier in the show, we were talking about this time last year, we were talking to Coach Irby about Travion Henderson's trip to the NFL Combine. Well, this year we have another Hopewellian that went to play for Buffalo University, and that's Red Murdoch. He was at the Combine this year, and like I said, his strengths, jarring production includes 39.5 tackles for loss in the past 3 seasons, set an NCAA record for forced fumbles, 17, and that was intent and technique. Plays a heaviness in his hands and pads as a striker, and able to absorb blocks and balance and hold his ground. Of course, he's ranked 13 right now out of the linebackers that will be drafted in the league come next month in Pittsburgh.
They probably need 13 more linebackers out of them 32 teams. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah, and it's one little, like I said, the weakness is hip tightness restricts his ability, lateral quickness, below average reaction time and flow to stay ahead of a block, missing desired sideline to sideline speed, too close to capture to the perimeter, but he is a downhill runner. He's a linebacker running right down in there.
But people that lack those skills depend on anticipation a lot. And I've seen a lot of players that are great anticipators, and if he can overcome that with anticipation, he can be a superstar.
Yeah, I think it's great that, like I said, Hopewell's producing these athletes that get these opportunities at the next level and beyond. Now, speaking of the next level, we are the home of the Hopewell Blue Devils and the Hopewell girls basketball team. I want to give a shout out to Coach Edmonds. She won her 200th game as a coach Friday night, so congratulations to her. And of course, Hopewell won 3 games last week to play in tomorrow night's state semifinal basketball game that's right here at Hopewell, Coach Littlepage's court, tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. They will be taking on James Monroe, who is 20-5. Hopewell being 16-5, and I know quite of the young ladies. We give a shout out to April there on the basketball team. Harry, she scored her 1,000th point last week.
That's amazing. Congratulations.
Yeah, so the basketball team is doing extremely well. A little side note, like I said, I'm not trying to put any dark cloud on anything, but this is the rematch from the game last year that went viral when they got into a little scuffle there at midcourt. So looking for a little, James Monroe won that game, so hopefully Hopewell can use that as motivation coming in and play at their home court.
Well, it was a good fight, and unfortunately a basketball game broke out right after that, and, we'll have to see what happens this time.
You're exactly right. Another little note with the Hopewell Blue Devils girls basketball team. They have won 8 out of their last 9 games, and this is the ideal time to be doing it at the end of the season.
Oh, yes. How you finish.
Yeah. So that's the Hopewell Blue Devils. Now, we're going to take another quick break because we started long at the beginning of it, and we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come down and break down college basketball for you. Top 25, where did the UVA Cavaliers fall to after that 26-point loss to Duke Saturday morning at noon? Oh, man, that was hard to watch. And we'll talk about them Cavaliers and what the chances they have to get the 4 seed and get you all caught up with the ACC. This is the last week of the ACC regular season.
March Madness is coming.
Yes, it is. And it starts tonight with Duke and NC State play tonight. NC State beat North Carolina by 30. Can they do the same at home against the number 1 team in the nation, Duke, tonight? That game starts at the top of the hour. With that, we're going to take a break. You're listening to The Bottom Line right here on WHAP, The Point. Maybe not. We're going to keep it right here, I guess. I'm not sure exactly what we got going on.
Due to technical difficulties, the Invisible Man will not be seen tonight.
Yeah, we're going to have to keep it right here, I guess, because ain't nothing working. All right, well, we'll keep it right here and go on and talk about...
Hey, why not? We don't need that fancy equipment.
No, we don't. Speaking of the ACC, speaking of the ACC, and what Duke, of course, with a big win over UVA Saturday, they're 15-1, 27-2 overall. UVA still second in the ACC, 13-3, 25-4, and that's a regular season record for UVA in the first season of Coach Odom. Has already set a record for regular season wins. And we're favored in the last 2 games. Wake Forest tomorrow night at 7, and we're taking on Virginia Tech noon on Saturday.
That's always a big game, UVA and Virginia Tech.
Yeah. It should be... I don't know what's happening here with this computer.
And you say Virginia's ranked 13th?
Yeah, Duke stays number 1. Virginia's 13th. Taking a look at the top 25.
Duke's steady climbing, ain't they?
Yeah, Duke's. Well, we were 11th, and then we lost Saturday.
Oh, okay.
It's only fell 2 spots. Duke's 55. Arizona is Duke with 55 votes, number 1. Number 2 is Arizona. 3 is Michigan. UConn 4. Florida 5 after a big win over Arkansas the other night. Calipari's biggest loss, and that was a big deal. And then Iowa State 6, Houston 7, Michigan State 8, Nebraska 9, Texas Tech 10. Illinois ranks out to top 11. Gonzaga, who lost to St. Mary's on the last second shot, great ball game late, and on that West Coast, them games are late, but they're still ranked 12th, 28-3. UVA's 13th, 25-4. Kansas 14th, Purdue 15th, Alabama 16th, North Carolina 17th. St. John's with Coach Rick Pitino, they're 18th. University of Miami is 29-0. Have not lost a game and still only ranked 19th. But we'll see what they're made of.
They're like, what else have we got to do?
Yeah, Arkansas is 20th, and St. Mary's is 21, 21st. University of Miami tops the top 25. They're 22nd. Tennessee 23rd. Vanderbilt 24th. And the last team in the top 25 is the A-10 team. And I'm pretty sure the A-10, speaking of VCU's league and Richmond's league, St. Louis will probably be the only team that gets in out of that. And VCU is 22-7, and they might be left out the tournament. But the quality.
That happens sometimes because they have these experts that know which divisions are strong and which ones are weaker, and they factor all the information in, and they come up with what you call an equation, Steve. You like that word equation, don't you?
Presenting Erie
Yes, sir,
Insurance
I
and
do.
several others. Give us a call at 804-458-8522 or stop by our new location at 5392 Prince George Drive, Suite B, and let us show you what old-fashioned customer service feels like. We can be your insurance concierge and save you money. www.ligonjones.com.
I just want to encourage everybody listening today. Your health matters. Your peace matters. You don't have to settle for feeling exhausted, stressed, or just stuck wherever you are. God gave us everything we need. Simple, powerful gifts from the earth to support our bodies naturally. It's not complicated. It's not overwhelming. It's just about taking one small step back to what He originally intended. You deserve to feel amazing. And natural solutions are really closer than you think. It's just a text, a phone call, or a stop by Car Brothers away.
Start your wellness journey today. Reach out to Tony Carr Hathaway. She's been waiting for you. Text wellness to 804-212-8571.
Hemco, a family-owned business which operates as a full-service buyer, processor, and seller. Hemco purchases, collects, processes, then remits any and all salvageable materials such as copper, brass, aluminum, stainless steel, and much more for the recycling industry. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company, located at 213 South 6th Avenue, Hopewell, Virginia. For services or questions, call Hemco at 458-8514. Open Monday through Fridays, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. That's Hemco, Hopewell Iron and Metal Company.
Looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate? Let Keith and Mandy at Hourglass Realty Group guide you and your family through the journey of home ownership for years to come. With over 17 years of experience as multi-million-dollar producers, they specialize in residential and commercial properties across Richmond, Chesterfield, the Tri-Cities, and surrounding areas. As partner agents with Veterans United, they take pride in helping active and retired veterans find the perfect home. Plus, Keith is a licensed notary for your convenience. Call 804-712-0188. That's 804-712-0188 today and visit them at 11801 Center Street in Chester. They're online at hourglassrealtygroup.com.
Uh-oh, stranded on the side of the road, flat tire, dead battery, no worries. Tucker Towing Service, LLC has got your back. Whether it's cars, trucks, motorcycles, or trailers, we're here to get you moving again. Need a jump start or a tire change? We do that too. Proudly serving Hopewell, VA, and surrounding areas. We're fast, reliable, and just a call away. Call Tucker Towing at 804-920-4383. or email us at tuckerstowingservice@gmail.com.
Craving a burger, a shake, or something sweet? Come on down to City Point Ice Cream and Burgers. They're serving all your favorites right here in the heart of Hopewell. From classic burgers and fries to their signature crazy shakes, you'll find exactly what you're looking for. City Point Ice Cream and Burgers is located at 236 East Broadway, downtown Hopewell, open Thursday through Monday from 11 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. City Point, more than just a burger. That's City Point Ice Cream and Burgers.
Carr Brothers, located at 3100 Jackson Farm Road here in Hopewell. The Gathering Place has great salads, specials every day, and without a doubt, the best burger in town. Call for carryout at 458-4144. That's 458-4144. Carr Brothers.
Why didn't you just tell me the truth? Now, let's get back to Steve the Truth with the bottom line. That's what I said.
All right, we are back here at the studio. I am Steve the Truth, taking a look at your scoreboard for tonight. As I said, Houston's taking on Washington at the top of the hour at 7 o'clock. Boston, Milwaukee at 7:30 on NBA TV. And then Denver takes on Utah, and the Clippers take on the Golden State tonight on NBC Sports Nation and Peacock, and that's be a lot of fun. And speaking of NBC, go Nuggets, Speaking, I am Steve the Truth alongside of Harry Clary and the entertainer that is Rick Morris. It is just about 7 minutes toward the hour. And speaking of NBC, I think their coverage of the Olympics, like I said, this is our first show since the Olympics has passed. I think the Olympics were pretty good. It's always fun to watch curling and events that you don't see all the time.
Yeah, well, absolutely. And, you know, the figure skating was pretty exciting. A couple people were just a fall away from gold, or, you know, a few of them were more consistent than one. It's just, if it's your day, it's your day.
Yeah, and that speed skating is another thing. They're going.
Yeah, they kind of look like Godzilla with them big thighs. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, man, well, skating, if your thighs are small, try speed skating.
Yeah, I used to try roller skating, and that's not a sight you want to see.
Yeah, you're exactly. I can't roller skate at all. Give a shout out to my wife. She used to skate competition roller skating, and yeah, it's tough. But you do have the medal count there for the final medal.
Yeah,
count.
I've got the top 5 here, and the interesting thing about the top 5 is the USA is the only one that really isn't in the climate for Winter Olympics. You know what I mean? I mean, part of the United States, but anyway, Norway won 18 golds, 12 silvers, and 11 bronze. For 41 total, and the USA won 12 gold, 12 silver, and 9 bronze for 33. The Netherlands, you know, they really should be good. They're up there where it's nothing but ice.
Yeah.
10 gold, 7 silver, and 3 bronze for 20. Italy,
which hosted it.
Yes, 10 gold, 6 silver, and 14 bronze. And Germany was number 5 with 8 gold, 10 silver, and 8 bronze.
All right. Yeah, like I said, it's always fun to watch the Olympics, and then right now March Madness, we're headed right into that. College basketball, NBA basketball. Like I said, it's a lot going on. And I do want to give a little shout out to Michael Jordan and his race team 2311. They have done something no person, no driver, no team has done ever since 1944. It's never been done. It started.
They dunked it from the foul line.
No, they won. They won the Daytona 500. Then they won Atlanta, and yesterday they won in Texas. No one driver has won the first 3 races to start the season until yesterday, and Michael Jordan is the owner. And they're headed to Phoenix this week, where the driver is probably right up there. It's one of his best tracks. So congratulations to the 45 team, Michael Jordan, and all the rest of them there. And like I said, I'm a racing fan. I try to watch it every Sunday if I can.
I think they're using Air Jordans for tires.
Yeah, well, that's funny. Somebody mentioned that, hey, you sued NASCAR in the off season. Now you done come out and won the first 3 races. Is it rigged?
If you get on Facebook, everything is rigged. Everything is rigged.
Everything is rigged.
And they got scary music in the background of the video to let you know it's fake.
Yes, they do. Yeah, and to close the show as we opened it, we'd like to thank everybody, all the listeners, all the sponsors, all the guests that's been on our show for the past year. Thanks so much for making it what it is, and thanks for your support of myself, Harry, and Rick as well. We'll be here every Monday for, next week we got Kobe, the coach of the high school boys soccer team. The 16th we have Tony Carr back with us. The 30th we have Keith Wagner with us. And I got some other guests coming up so far as through the Washington Wizards, trying to get Dave Johnson back on with us as well. And as we move into the summer and covering sports, of course, next month is April. We got the NFL draft in Pittsburgh. We'll be covering that as well. So a lot of different stuff that we got going on right here at the Bottom Line with Steve the Truth, featuring Harry Clary and the entertainer that is Rick Morris. So with that, that's pretty much going to do it for our show today. We thank you so much. We'll be back next Monday, and check out us on Cable Channel 3 in the Tri-Cities every Tuesday from 5 to 6. We'll be on tomorrow. And then, of course, you can check our YouTube channel at the Bottom Line Sports Talk Radio Show -WHAP, and you can hear all the shows that we've done in the past. With that, that does it for Rick, Harry. I am Steve the Truth. We'll see you again next Monday night.
You've been listening to Steve the Truth Nugent with the Bottom Line. Sports Radio 1340 AM.